Hey guys, what's going on? It's Calvin Stewart, broker owner of Stewart Real Estate. Hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. I know I am. So I just wanted to come shoot this quick video and tell you guys a very, very, very simple truth. Know what you want in a home, but be willing to sacrifice what you don't need. Okay? So when you're purchasing a home, it might be your first house, might be your second house, but let's just focus on, you're purchasing your first home. Not everybody is in a position to purchase all of their goals, all of their wants, all of their dreams in that first home. And it's statistically proven that buyers move about an average of every 7 years. So when you're purchasing your first home, what you need to do with you and all the other decision makers of the household is you need to sit down and you need to determine what are your needs. So if you need a 3-bedroom house, that's a need. You need to have 2 bathrooms, maybe 2.5. That's a definite need. You need to have, a garage, a driveway, because you have a certain amount of cars, vehicles. You might have a work vehicle that you need to be parking on a driveway. That's a need. Certain things are wants when you're purchasing a home, and your wants should be something that you're willing to sacrifice if need be. When you develop your list of your criteria of what you're looking for in a house, you should be able to fill all the parameters. What is your ideal home? What does that look like? What kind of house is it? What does it contain? What features, what benefits, what amenities does it have? But if you can get a really, 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 really good deal on something that doesn't necessarily have all your wants, you should probably take it. I'll use this as an example. I purchased my first home about a year ago, actually. Next month, we're in January right now. In February, it's going to be 1 year when we purchased the house. And my significant other, we were engaged at that time. Now we're married, my wife. So we're looking for many different houses. We looked for a lot of months to find a property. And me being in the real estate industry, of course, I'm analyzing the market. I'm looking and seeing what's, good. My wife, she definitely had a stricter list than I did when it comes to purchasing a property. We both, agreed on the fact that we definitely need 3 bedrooms. We definitely need at least 2 full and 1 half bathrooms. Those were like our must-have. We definitely needed a basement. So those things are kind of what started to shape and form our criteria. However, we also had a couple wants. She wanted an N-unit property or a detached property. So, of course, she wanted a detached property first, which is great. But if she, didn't see something that she wanted detached, she would like an N-unit townhouse. Perfect. Have a walkout basement. Great. That's great. She wanted her N-unit townhouse to be all brick. So those are the criteria that we were looking at. And there are a lot of properties out there that fit our general criteria. We wanted something that was spacious, that had enough room to fit us in. I'm a pretty big dude myself. I can't be cooped up in a little property. And we definitely wanted to have all that space. For me personally, I wanted, enough room to be able to put my pool table in my basement. I wanted an area to build a bar in my basement because I believe that my basement is going to be my man cave. After I work all day long, I should be able to come on the weekends, the afternoons, and, go into my basement and unwind. So we developed our list and we started searching. And as we're going out there, we were looking at many, many, many properties. And we were realizing that, the N units that are brick and walk out have really, really, really small rooms. The detached properties that were in the areas that we were looking for have really, really, really small rooms. Or their ceilings are pretty low, so it feels a lot smaller than, we would prefer. So as we kept look at other options. And it really wasn't until, my next door neighbor now reached out to me at that point and said, hey, I have a perfect property for you. He's actually my lender, so he was doing the loan on it anyway. And he was like, hey, I know this really doesn't fit any of Maria's criteria or any of your criteria, but you might actually like this. This might actually be better buy for you. So, I spoke to my wife about it. We eventually looked at the property, and she fell in love with it. The property we purchased, it was a townhouse. It wasn't a detached property. It wasn't an end-unit property. It was a middle-unit townhouse. Didn't have any brick on it, and it didn't have a walkout basement. But this property was bigger than every other house that we saw. So it had a lot more room for us to do the things that we actually wanted to do. We were able to spread out at this place. This house also was a really, really, really great value in a really, really, really great location. So if we were very, very stuck on our ways, saying you have to have all of our criteria, we would have never seen this property. And as soon as we walked into the door, we found this property, we knew that we're buying this one. This is the one we want. We got it for a really good deal. And of course, we made a lot of money off the sale or the purchase of the property because it is a really great value for what we had. And what we ended up doing ourselves is as soon as we purchased the property, before we even moved in, we just, ripped it apart and redid it all. We painted everything. We did all the flooring, and we made it ours. So I was able to build my bar down in my basement, set up my pool table, and make the whole thing my man cave. So it's great. But we would have missed that opportunity if we had not been willing to sacrifice our wants. And we got everything we needed out of the property. So this property can suit us for a very long time. We also know that this is not our forever home. This is a home that we're, just starting our family. We just got married like maybe 5 months ago in this property, So we're just starting off. So we're able to be realistic and rational in the circumstance. And a lot of times I do see a lot of buyers, especially first-time home buyers, going into a situation where they have a strict list of what they want, which is great to know what you want, but understand when to be flexible. Because especially if this is not the home you plan on living on forever, like you're going to move in the next 3 years, the next 5 years, get something that's a really good value that you can afford, that you can actually enjoy your time while you're living there, pay off the mortgage, save up as much money as you can, and then the next home that you buy, build it from scratch, customize it yourself, or find the exact criteria. But you also have to keep in mind that there are a lot of houses out there. 9 times out of 10, there's going to be 1 or 2 things that house that you're looking at does not have. That's just the way it is, because not everybody thinks the same way. So when you purchase something that's a great value and that has space, look at the bigger picture, because you can always modify it. And when you modify it to put your own touch to it and put your own taste in it, you can definitely get a better value from a property than you can just purchasing a property or searching for and trying to purchase a property that has everything on your list. Like I said, don't sacrifice your main things that you need. If you know that you have pets, so you need a certain sized backyard that you want to let your dog out, you need that. It's not something you should be sacrificing. But look at it objectively. Look at it strategically. Understand what is a necessity, understand what's a desire, and be able to differentiate the difference between. I don't want to see you miss out from opportunity just because you were focused on getting 1 or 2 things that you really didn't care about to begin with. Like I mentioned, you should never, ever sacrifice your quality of life. You should never sacrifice where you're living, especially because after you work hard all day long and you come home, that's the spot where you get to unwind. That's the spot where you get to be you. Understand what's a want and what's a need. And if you're in a position to get something and you're in a position to wait until you find exactly what you need that comes on the market, perfect. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to modify something in a house anyway. So just look at it objectively. Understand what you can change. Understand what's changeable. As I walk through properties with my clients, we look at it and say, hey, like, of course, when I first sit down with them, like, hey, what do you want out of this property? What do you need? Like, where are you in the middle of? What can you sacrifice? What are you unwilling to sacrifice? So by the time I send you some properties, we go check out those houses, we're going to go into a property that pretty much fits most of your criteria anyway. So by the time you get to that house and you see that it fits your criteria, I'll be able to help guide you through and say, hey, maybe you can modify this to fix, this one part of the criteria that it didn't have. Like, you want something that has granite countertops. You can always add countertops later. You need a little bit more cabinet space. Depending on the layout, you can always modify that and get you something and create something with more cabinet space. You need, something that has a little bit more of an open floor plan, but it has all of your other criteria. Depending on the property, you can move some walls. It doesn't cost that much money. You can make it an open floor plan property. So look at the property for what it is. Don't look at it for what it's not, So you can make anything what you need it to be, realistically. That's what contractors doing for a living on a day-to-day basis. They're in there modifying properties, whether it be commercial places, whether it be residential places. They're making it the way the person who owns it wants it. So definitely don't miss out on a great opportunity. Make sure that your eyes are always open, your eyes are always peeled, and that you're paying attention. Look at as many properties as you can. Make sure you feel comfortable with the purchase as you're buying the house. Never rush into a purchase. Because when you do purchase that property, you want it to make money for you. You want to be able to live there and make memories there. You don't want to buy something and then regret that you bought it every single day. But also, like I said, have that balance. Know what is necessary and know what you can sacrifice and be able to meet yourself in the middle, because a lot of times it'll be a more lucrative transaction if you do it that way. So if you have any questions, once again, guys, give me a call, 240-472-7453. Shoot me a message, shoot me an email, and I'll be happy to help you. Take care. I'll talk to you guys soon, okay?